Hey guys, God here. The year is 13.8 billion BC. I am alone and bored. I started a new sandbox world the other day, and I may have put myself on creative mode. So today, I have decided to start my own devlog series on creating something I like to call the universe. To start this new devlog series off, we will be attempting to create some basic level generation and playable classes to expand on in future episodes. To begin, I created my first game object. It doesn't really have any special properties, but it looks pretty cool. I gave it a name and then ran some code to create a bunch of these guys at the universe's spawn point. However, the game kinda glitched out and continued to spawn an infinite number of these photons until a big bang and all of my progress down the drain. All that was left was just a bunch of dust floating around, so I thought I would throw in some more physics to make things interesting. Added in the gravity function, waited a couple 100,000 years, and everything just kinda started clumping together in these big balls. I like them, so I kept them as a feature. I'm calling them stars. Still trying to work out these black hole bugs though. The game tends to glitch out anytime something gets close to them. I'll try to patch them out in a future update, but for now, we'll just move on. Anyway, let's just fast forward in time to my first big development breakthrough. I'm calling this patch the Solar System Update. Stars aren't very interactable and it got pretty boring, so I thought maybe we should seed some rocks in between them. Those naturally all clump together too. Starting to kind of think that all I can really do with this physics engine is just create a bunch of balls. But after dragging and dropping some stuff around, I got some cool new objects. Asteroids, moons, and planets are added into the game. After gathering some intel from people on Reddit and Discord, it seems that no one really cares about the moons and asteroids, so we will be focusing most of our development time into creating unique planets for players to have an adventure on. I started developing some interesting biomes to attempt the ultimate coding challenge, creating life. So before we get into our true success, let's talk about some planet honorable mentions. First, we gotta give a big shout out to Jupiter, as it has by far the largest map size and has some crazy high level terrain hazards. Oh, also, if you are trying to play on the hardest difficulty, then maybe you should consider Jupiter, as it has by far the highest gravity setting, but you will need the flying DLC unlocked to attempt survival on this planet. For those of you that hate water levels, I would highly recommend staying away from Neptune, as it is pretty much just one giant cold water dungeon. So, before attempting, make sure to prepare your iron boots and your highest level scuba gear for this hellish game mode. Finally, in second place spot, we have Mars. By far one of the most viable options for any players trying to start potato farms. Just make sure to watch out for the rare Martian NPCs, cause they can get pretty feisty. Oh yeah, and I guess we can mention a rock called Pluto. I attempted to create a 9th planet for the expansion pass, but unfortunately no one really cared for it, and it was actually too small to even be considered a planet. Maybe I'll revisit it and turn it into an actual planet when I get around to fixing the black hole glitch. Well, now that we have gone through all of our honorable mentions, let's talk about by far the most overpowered planet. This planet comes in at 510 million cubic kilometers, weighing just over, well, this amount. We have the planet Earth. This planet has some really unique level design, with some new materials like water, oxygen, and some crazy diverse biomes. Wait, that's not even close to being in the game yet. Cut the clip. 90% of the game will be taking place on Earth, as the other planets are pretty useless. They look cool, but aren't very practical. I'm very sorry to all of the Mars DLC speedrunners, but we've gotta focus on the general player base and creating a fun experience for the broad audience. The environments are pretty different here on Earth, but unfortunately, there still isn't really much to do in the game yet. We've only got one playable class so far, and to be honest, the bacteria skill tree is kind of, well, empty. Maybe in a future update we can expand on these guys and do what the is that? Anyway, that's going to do it for today's devlog. This episode, we created our first game object, accidentally exploded everything in existence, glitched our game out numerous times, and even started on creating some decently playable levels for the players to experience throughout the course of the devlog series. We want this game to capture a unique experience like no other, so we will be focusing on coding in some unique player characters and enemy AI for the next devlog. Thank you for watching today's devlog video on creating my first game called The Universe. Subscribe to stay up to date on future content like this, but as always, until next time, have a great life.